Hello, hello, and welcome back to Stranding. Last time, we had... Oh, look, some Porter friends! Wrong button. Hey, guys!
Thanks for the help. Came in handy. Thank you, kindly. Came in handy. Thank you, kindly.
It's always good to meet other Porters. I appreciate the sentiment, but nah, I don't need this stuff. Thank you, though. Let me move my truck out either way for you guys.
Shelter provides care for vulnerable and isolated creatures. Should you encounter such a specimen, please secure and deliver them to the shelter facility or any other nearby facility.
I love these guys. Alright. Oh, alright. Let's go head up where they're telling us to go inside the building.
When she's outside, Rainie's constantly surrounded by timefall. But within a 1.5-meter radius of her body, a different kind of precipitation is observed.
Oh, it's only really near
We call
her.
it core fall. Anything it touches is restored to an earlier state. In other words, it has the power to heal and repair, to counteract timefall's effects. Sadly, people only see the timefall, and not the remarkable woman standing in the eye of the storm. Still no signs of growth?
I should be due any day now. If things were normal, that is. But the baby's still stuck at 7 months.
She has still baby syndrome. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I
Met
met a few
someone in Mexico.
preppers in Mexico that had something like that.
Yep.
They're not isolated cases. It seems to be happening everywhere. Though who knows if it's a syndrome or a symptom of something else.
Simply put, the fetus stops growing at about 7 months. To be clear, it doesn't die, but it no longer moves, as if it's frozen in time. Several treatments, including C-sections, have been attempted. Unfortunately, removal from the womb invariably results in death. And while not all pregnancies are affected, it's yet another contributing factor to the already low birth rate. The Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative just isn't enough to compensate.
You got any idea what's causing it?
There's speculation that it's due to an imbalance in the beach itself. I'm sure it's been explained to you before that countless individual beaches exist, a multiverse of beaches, so to speak, and that they are all governed by an upper beach on a higher plane. Expansion of the chiral network to cover the whole UCA may have inadvertently disrupted the link to that beach. Or so they think.
BB units were also 7-month-old fetuses.
Yep, I
So it's
figured.
not hard to believe that the beach might very well influence the unborn.
Right,
Well, I
that's
can
the
offer you
threshold
no
where you get a
concrete
soul, I
answer.
guess.
I can state that the plan to extend the chiral network into the Australian continent, to take it worldwide, is also intended to help restore balance to
Yeah,
the
I'm sure it
aforementioned upper
fucking
beach.
will.
And in doing so, it is possible that we may resolve the issue of still baby syndrome.
Why are we working with this man? Fragile, please tell me you have a greater plan and you're not just this fucking stupid to go along with what this guy's doing. I hate that I'm helping with this. I'm really just doing it so I can get answers for Lou. Every time that man comes on screen, I'm filled with rage. Oh, I hate it.
Sam, it's Charlie. You'll be happy to hear that a request has come in which will take you to your next destination. Unfortunately, no nearby facilities have the capacity to prepare the cargo. So it's going to be a long-distance delivery from West Fort Knott instead. Moreover, this request requires you to transport a large quantity of cargo. Careful consideration will need to be given to your route and your means of traversing it. You'll also need to think about what equipment you might need. Only then should you commit to a plan of action. Access the delivery terminal at West Fort Knott to pick up this main order. Oh, and the DHB Magellan can take you there, if need be. Just open your ring terminal and select chart course to request transport.
Hey, Brenda. You think? Not at all. What's up?
There's a conversation just happening outside.
As usual, Drawbridge can't help but run its people ragged. I was looking into the conditions that led to the bushfire we escaped. It seemed to have been caused by a phenomenon known as chiral cinders. Unlike other items washed up by the currents, cinders violently erupt from the tar and soar through the sky before crashing
That's
to the ground.
horrific.
This phenomenon has been observed across the continent and has led to an increase in bushfires.
That's horrific.
It's one more potential threat to keep an eye out for.
That's terrifying.
Ever wanted to learn more about the various creatures housed at the animal shelter, Sam? Well, there's a speaker outside the facility that they use to broadcast updates. Might be good to check in on some of the animals we've taken there once in a while. I'm so glad that we were able to save that kangaroo's life.
So was I.
It's easy to forget that humans aren't the only creatures affected by the Death Stranding. Protecting our remaining wildlife isn't just the right thing to do. It can also help us to better understand how the environment has changed.
Oh, yeah, that's Doll Man. He was a psychic who, was able to transport his soul into this doll, but he couldn't reverse the process, so now he's stuck in it. He's my friend. I can throw him into the sky and he can look at things for me. He's also got very good advice.
Rainey was a vision to behold. To put out that fire so effortlessly. Her powers are incredible, don't you think? The kangaroo you rescued is currently being cared for and studied at the animal shelter. You know, if you ever want to stop by and see how it's doing, I wouldn't object.
Mm-hmm.
Are you curious how I maintain my youthful appearance? It's because
Varnish?
Rainey lets me shower in her core fall from time to time.
Oh. Alright, now he's out of new things to say. I want to take a peek at the corpus. But first, let's chart a course. So, next main goal is going to be, yeah, down here. So, I think we're going to want to extend the monorail system if we're going to do that. Realistically. If it does extend, it did imply it would extend further. No, his soul. Souls are thoroughly a thing in this world that is known to exist. Pa and Ka, body and soul. Yeah, there just are souls in Death Stranding. It's just a whole part of the lore. I'm carrying around the soul of my dead child. This is my dead child's soul.
It's all good, it's all good.
It's very sad. great time, really is. Alright, I'm gonna check our corpus for any new data that we've gathered. Oh, actually, there's some people messaging us in the social network. Where is it? There you go. Alright, let's read some of these. Kangaroo is feeling better. Here's the kangaroo Sam rescued. Isn't she doing well? Yeah. We're still running tests on her, but the early signs are good. We can never thank Sam and Drawbridges enough. Happy animals for the win. That's great to hear. We could learn a lot from kangaroos. After all, they only move forward, never back. Oh yeah, this game is absolutely horrific, but also absolutely beautiful. I love it, and I also am furious and want to cry because we keep being met with tragedy after tragedy. I feel like kangaroo would taste good. Roos are an Australian icon. I'm glad someone's putting in the hard yards to make sure they're taken care of. Thank you, Drawbridges. Grassroots activities. We've made. I've made it rain. Excuse me. The few times I've visited with Drawbridges, and we're already starting to see the results. Now I want to bring the rain to a lot more places. Even a little bit helps. Here's to the beginning of a new. Here's to bringing nature back to life. Nice work, Rainy. I keep praying Drawbridges continues for success. Yay! Amazing. The animals look pretty happy to hear this too. I know there's a company in my area that sells like unique jerkies where basically they pay zoos a fuck ton of money to get the dead animals from the zoo and turn them into jerky. It's great. Alright. Anyway, do we have anything in the corpus? Yeah, there's those. Yeah, chiral cinders. Sudden firestorms of flaming matter. Chiral cinders are one of the primary causes of wildfires. There's no effective way to deal with them. Should you encounter chiral cinders out in the field, the best way to respond may well be to run in the opposite direction. No one is quite sure where chiral cinders originate. Like chiral crystals, they are described as chiral because they are thought to come from the world of the dead. The idea of flaming dolphins, fish, crabs raining down upon us because of those creatures that have been stranded on the beach certainly makes for a compelling explanation. Yeah, it's absolutely horrific. It's likely that the chiral cinders are just one of the many anomalies that occur from the imbalance between this world and the world beyond, and the beach. Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative. Humanity stands on the brink of extinction. Population numbers are in the sharp decline. Fewer children are born every year, and communities are more closed off than ever, putting even genetic diversity at risk. In the UCA, efforts have been made to promote human contact in cities, but physical in-person interaction remains difficult and dangerous. With A-Pass's automated deliveries, many people no longer experience contact even with porters. Excuse me. Human communities have become more closed off than ever, leading to genetic stagnation. The Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative has been designed to exchange sperm and eggs from different regions in attempts to rectify this. Terraforming. An ambitious project to restore life to the desert. Excuse me, oh my god. Getting wicked bad heartburn. I think of the, I've been drinking throughout stream, and I think I'm, my drink ran out a little bit ago, and I think I'm coming down from it, and it's giving me heartburn as a result. Even before the Death Stranding, climate change and human industrialization had been disastrous to natural environment. God, I can read. I feel like the woke gaming squad over on Steam is gonna have a fucking field day with this game when it hits Steam. Deforestation, large-scale agriculture, mining, and expansion of enormous cities were all blamed for degrading once arable land until plants could no longer grow within it, and damaging vital ecosystems until parts of the world were all but inhospitable. So colossal was this destruction, some people believed the very purpose of the Death Stranding was to eradicate the humans responsible. The aim of the terraforming plan is simply to reverse the world's environmental damage and restore the planet to its former glory, not only helping humans, but allowing the world's diverse flora and fauna to thrive once more. Rainey's ability have proven an enormous boon to the terraforming project, which continues to proceed at pace. Rainy. Drink some bicarb soda mixed in water. Works for heartburn. I have some heartburn medication that I take. I get heartburn really easily, so I've got both like softer things like Tums and a more hardcore like Pepto-Bismol pill. I'll probably take it after this episode of YouTube is done being recorded. A doomed sufferer and Drawbridge's member who was recruited after her powers were recognized by Fragile. Rainey's naturally triggers large timefall showers. I mean, we've learned all of this through cutscenes already. So yeah, I don't really need to read this one. Decoy Hollow Grenade. This is new. A hand grenade that produces a decoy hologram to draw enemies' attention. The hologram must be activated by remote and lasts only for a limited duration. During combat, the holo grenade will produce a hologram of Sam to disorient the enemy. Outside of combat, this will be replaced with a hologram of cute animal to distract the enemy. Beneath the battle-hardened exterior, the hostiles you encounter are still human, making them just as susceptible to the charms of adorable critters as anybody else. One can only imagine the disappointment they must feel when the cuddly creature they go to pet turns out to be a hologram. Oh, I feel bad. Test subject Kangaroo. A kangaroo whose unusual and unexplained behavior has marked it out for special monitoring. It briefly went on the run, but Sam, was able to save it. Because the kangaroo fled into a forest dense with chiral radiation, the staff of the animal shelter were concerned it may have suffered chiral contamination. But after testing for contamination symptoms, they found the kangaroo wasn't sick at all, but carrying a joey in its pouch. The joey seemed to have undergone some mutation, with its blood found to contain D-amino acids. These are extremely rare. Almost all of the amino acids on Earth's organisms are comprised of L-amino acids. I remember reading shit about this at one point, and there's some really cool shit about D-amino acids I don't remember that scientists are researching. Further examination of the joey's cell structure revealed a similarity to that of chiral creatures, prompting the staff to wonder if the joey was, in fact, in the process of turning into a chiral creature itself. Perhaps that is the reason that its mother was acting so strangely. As yet, there has been no explanation for why such transformation might occur. Wild animals. Many species of animals have become extinct, making all of those that remain both precious and rare. Small and medium-sized animals, including humans, have fared better than most, and reduced numbers means they struggle to find partners for reproduction. Dwindling genetic diversity has also led to an increased risk of disease and reduced resistance to environmental changes. As a result, over 80% of all remaining species are expected to go extinct within 100 years. To prevent this, efforts are underway to capture and protect wild animals, and experiments with artificial reproduction methods are being tested. At the same time, however, new species that appear to have adapted to the post-Stranding environment are commonly being discovered. The very definition of the word animal is changing. Animal shelter. I like the shape of the building. Several animal species are unique to the Australian continent and its outlying islands. These include kangaroos, koalas, possums, Tasmanian devils. Kangaroos, koalas, possums. Can I catch koalas? Can I trank koalas? I love them. They're the stupidest animal in nature, and I love them. Also, possums? Hell yeah! They include kangaroos, koalas, possums, Tasmanian devils, and emus. But I also saw a echidna, I think. Yes it is. You go to Australia in this one. Many of where was I? But the Death Stranding has had a devastating effect on these creatures. Their numbers have dwindled, and some varieties have died out entirely. Many of Australia's already rare animals are now even fewer in number. Possums are adorable and terrifying. I wish we had domesticated possums. They're the best. The Australian continent was once part of a supercontinent, Gondwana, but began pulling away from the landmass around 140 million years ago. Several million years later, it had completely separated, and no land bridges to the other continent remained. In that isolation, several species were able to develop and flourish, especially marsupials, that could thrive in environments free of large mammals that would have been their natural predators. Listen, we were able to domesticate foxes. Now I want domesticated raccoons and domesticated possums. Can you imagine how cool it would be to have a little raccoon friend who can, like... I feel like they would actually make really good service animals if they were domesticated with their opposable thumbs. If these species become extinct in Australia, they will be lost to the world forever. The animal shelter is therefore attempting to preserve as many of Australia's unique creatures as possible. It is a responsibility they take very seriously. Animal shelter staff. Extinction has been a natural inevitability. I can read since life first appeared on Earth, but it changed dramatically with the arrival of humans. Tasmanian tigers are pretty cool. As humanity spread to all corners of the world, advancing our economic and technological power, we changed the planet around us. Climate change accelerated the rate of extinction across the globe, and huge numbers of species were lost during industrialization. Now the Death Stranding has put humanity itself on the brink. Is there a certain irony to this? Are we simply reaping what we have sowed? The staff of the animal shelter are pained by humanity's historical foolishness, and have resolved to do what they can to protect the world's remaining species. But its 3 staff members, Lauren, Martin, and Lane, need the assistance of the chiral network to do so. Perhaps it is precisely the hunger for technological advancement that puts so many of the world's species at risk, that may yet turn out to be its savior. Another hollow grenade could be unlocked through them. Bushfires, I don't think I need to read that one. Rescuing wild animals. Okay, we've caught up all on the corpus. And did we get a new A-Pass ability? No, we just have more points. Where do we want to throw A-Pass points? Let's throw them here for now, but I'll probably reassign them later when I have more. Alright, and now... Yeah, so hang on. Thinking about where we're going to route to next episode. There's another highway thing here. Can this monorail go further out, or does it end there? I might take the monorail up north and see... if it's possible for me to extend it around here, maybe? Yeah, I think next episode is going to primarily focus on... Oh, that's a tar cannon, okay. Primarily focus on, like, expanding the highway systems and stuff to see if we can't create an effective path for the upcoming mission. Because it sounds like we're gonna need it. Yeah, we've warped here. Let's see here. Dollman has nothing else to say? Okay. Yeah, I love the amount that, Kojima integrates crazy shit into his world. Can we read the book up above? No, you can't read the books up above. Yum, yum, yum. Not with the monorail and the road. Hang on. Let me look at this real quick and then I'll pop the map open again.
Certain parallels can be drawn between Captain Ahab's pursuit and the Prometheus myth. Prometheus is a deity said to have stolen fire from the heavens in order to give it to humans. In essence, he bestowed upon them the power of the gods themselves. This power manifested as technology. Humans crafted tools, and with them brought nature to heal and built great
Feels like this is
civilizations.
commenting on some
The
of what
author
we're
intended
doing.
to frame Ahab's pursuit of the white whale as one akin to mankind's struggle against the forces of nature. We ourselves are arguably living out our own Prometheus myth as we fight to overcome the Death Stranding. No, we definitely are. And we're not about to lose.
Oh no, things didn't exactly work out for either Prometheus or Ahab in the end. Yeah, so you can't, like, build highways or, monorails. But what you can do is, so, I don't know if you can see them very well. The little lines, whenever you travel carrying cargo, you create footpaths. And the more you and other players online trace out the footpaths, the smoother the terrain becomes. Yeah, you can see a lot of it right here, because this is a high traffic spot. Because this is the pathway that leads from the governor's base to where our ship parks up here. Yeah, this path here is very clearly heavily traveled. So, like, all these green dots as well are things that have been placed or built by other players. And so the game communicates with other players, and the idea, just like with Death Stranding 1, is that the entire community playing creates infrastructure that aid each other. Like these blue highways, they're built in predetermined location, but the players still have to build them. And I only built a couple of these. A few of these exist because other players built them up, which is very cool. Same goes for some of the monorail here. Some of this was built by other players, and like all the highway over here I didn't establish. So I can clearly see another highway point here. So I definitely want to build that going into the next episode. I'm just thinking about my long-term plans. Where that highway goes will determine a lot of what I do. I also want to check this area to see if we can expand the monorail further along the coast. Not really. I haven't had to go grinding for supplies, really, because there's a load of ways to get them. For one, there's mining facilities that you unlock. So you can go to the mining facilities and pick up huge amounts of supplies. Yeah, this one gives me ceramic, and I think this one was unique special alloys. Come on. Yeah, special alloys. And there's also enemy camps, like over here, and you can raid them for supplies. Yeah, it feels like Kojima thoroughly took into account every complaint people had about the first game and fixed it. There's more modes of transportation. You can more easily maneuver goods around. At combat has been hugely improved in fucking slaps. The travel between locations, like the actual locations you make deliveries, are more tightly packed. Which makes for, you know, there's a lot of quick, easy deliveries you can do. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Yeah, so I think I know roughly. Hang on, I can check. Yeah, I can see how much cargo this needs. I'll wait until the start of next episode to really jot that down and figure out what I'm doing. I may need to bring this place into the chiral network to expand the system, which sucks because I really don't like expanding the chiral network because it's morally dubious if I'm the good guy for doing it. Oh boy. I love that. What's up, tall man? What do you want to say?
Was that tasty, Sam?
Yeah, doll man can't eat anymore, so every time I eat, he gets jealous. Alright, let's go. I love that he's animated at a lower frame rate. Let's go ahead and shower and piss. So, this is another thing I like. You don't have to individually piss, shit, and shower. It's one button to do all of it now. Which is a very nice time saver. And you don't have to individually recycle the piss, shit, and stuff. It's just auto-recycled now.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Looking clean as a whistle.
Alright, I want to take a photograph. Hang on. That's right, I can't actually... Hang on. There we go. What kind of photograph do I want to do? Sorry about the flashbangs as I go through all of this. I think I want to do this frame, but I want to slightly reposition. There we go. Let's use the sepia filter. I want just a little bit of color bleed through. Alright. So, those watching the YouTube upload of this, that's going to be where this episode of Death Stranding ends. Ooh, hope you've all been enjoying it. End cards appearing in just a moment. Love you very much, and ta-ta for now.